This is the Bitcoin Otter Radio Show.
Oh my God, I love you so much!
On 97.7 FM, The City.
Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everyone. It's the Bitcoin Otter Show. It's a Thursday, and a wild one at that. I don't know, but you ought to know. We got a guest today. We got a very special guest, a return guest even. Crazy Alex Cantu from Crazy Travels.
What's going on, guys? It's Crazy Cantu from Crazy Travels. Oh my God, Crazy. Chris, thank you again for having me back. Last time we were here, I believe we broke the internet.
We came close.
Kinda,
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So people were excited. I was done. I was excited. That was the first time I ever. And when you do these radio shows and it's your first time, you're nervous. You're scared. Am I going to skip a beat? Am I going to repeat myself? Am I going to stutter? And I'm done. I start making the rounds and I start making phone calls, and my wife was the first one I spoke to. Oh, it was nice. It was awesome. And then I call my mom, and my mom tells me, oh, everything was awesome, but you forgot to talk about passports.
Oh,
so
we'll do that tonight. We'll do that tonight. Let me do a little key bit of business here, all right? We're going over the air here in McAllen, Texas, on 97.7 KCYP, the city, out of the McAllen Creative Incubator. We're going out on YouTube. We're going out on Facebook. We're going out on TuneIn Radio and Radio Garden. Thank you, all of you who are watching. As you speak, sir, I am going to get us up on our chat so we can see what they're talking about.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again for having me on here.
My honor.
Last time that we were here, and I told this to my mom, I said, look, I have to introduce Crazy Travels. I have to, talk to people who have never traveled and explain to them what Crazy Travels is, who Crazy Travels is, and where they can find Crazy Travels. So again, you can find Crazy Travels on Facebook, KRAZY Travels.
Gio, good to see you.
And then, what do I do? Why am I here? And why do I do this for free? Well, I want you to go on a vacation. A lot of people have told you that you can't afford a vacation, that it's out of your price range, or maybe they went on a vacation and they had a horrible vacation. And just because they had a horrible vacation, everyone else after them is going to have a horrible vacation. And that's not the case. And so on my page, I do budget travel. I do email alerts, discount codes, vacation deals that you can take advantage of without even having to talk to me. You can go in there, and then I do reviews of vacation where I stay neutral so that I can encourage you to travel, or so that you can make a sound decision and say, maybe this isn't something that we need to do as a family. Remember, you have a budget. You have maybe you work in a civilian work and you only have 2 weeks. And so these are the 2 weeks and you need to make the most out of that. Or maybe you took some leave and all you have is a weekend. And so we want to make sure that we put you in a right vacation at the right price so that you can have an awesome time and make memories with your family.
Awesome. So, and we've known each other for a while,
yep.
Right? So I know, and I can vouch for Alex, he will give you the vacation that you ask for. Meaning, if you give him the criteria that you're looking for, you give him the budget, you give him the location, and you give him what you like, what you want to see, and what kind of things do you want to tour? What do you want to learn about? How do you want to learn? Do you want to learn it like if you're in Venice, a gondola?
Yeah.
How do you want to do it? Give him the criteria you have, and he will give you the vacation you want to have.
Sometimes, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Sometimes, like I'm working with a coworker who just retired, and she wanted to go to Colorado, and she's like, I want to go to Colorado, May, June. Let's look at something, and I start looking at something, right? And then out of nowhere, I give her the information that she wants, and then she's like, hey, I just realized that it's still going to be cold. Let's look for another destination where it's not that cold. And so we go back to the drawing board to get you that vacation that you want, because, go ahead.
But I bet you saved that info for the next person who wants to go to Colorado, right?
And this isn't a knock on her, because remember, we're building We're trying to get you on a vacation that you're going to enjoy, I don't want you to go to a destination that you're going to be snowed in.
Right.
No, I want you to go and see the world.
Unless you're a skier.
Yeah, exactly. And so don't be afraid to come at me with ideas. And, you might tell me, well, I got these 3 destinations that I'm thinking of. Well, I'm going to get to work and I'm going to look for the best, least expensive option so that you can make the most out of your vacation. And so out of those 3, you might come back and say, well, let's go with this one. And then I'll walk you through booking it, or I'll tell you, hey, look, go with this company, be it Globus, be it Cosmos, or maybe I'll refer you to a coworker of mine who's a travel agent that can help us get you the best, least expensive option.
So let me just so everybody knows, you don't just get on the computer and say, hey, I think this is nice, I think this might work. You've gone to most of these places.
Yeah, so the places that I haven't been to, let's say that I'm going to go on a vacation, the first thing that I do, and these are all things that you can do, these are things that I want to coach you to do. There's people out there that don't call me anymore. They take the advice that I've given them and they start using that, and now they're professionals. And what happens is that if I'm going to a new destination, I'm going online and I'm looking at 10 best things to do in McAllen, Texas. And then I'm going to TripAdvisor, 10 best things to do in McAllen, Texas. And then I'm going to Groupon's things to do, discount codes for restaurants in McAllen, Texas. So I'm taking advantage of everything that the internet has
Jody,
to
good
offer.
to see you.
All of this stuff is here for you, and I'm here to help you, and I'm here to coach you. But I want to talk about a passport, because a lot of people are scared about passports. They have no idea what a passport is. They have no idea where to get a passport. They have no idea how much a passport costs. So first and foremost, where do you get a passport? You get a passport on travelstate.gov, and it's going to cost you about $165 for about 10 years. It's good for 10 years. And you get your passport photo at Walgreens for maybe $5. And you submit that application, you grab your passport, and now you have a passport. What is a passport?
Excuse me, Alex, 1 second. We're talking about the book.
Yeah.
Right? Not the card.
Not the card. The card is good to go to Mexico and back. You're going to cross the border.
Or Canada.
You're better off with the passport. You want the actual book. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but the reason why is because it's going to get stamped with the visa from the country that you're going to visit. What is that passport? It's a library card to read all the books in the world. It's a ticket to see the world. And let me tell you that, and this is no disrespect to any Laredoan or any Hispanic kid, but I'm a Laredoan, a Hispanic kid that is, seeing the world, and it is beyond awesome. I never in my life imagined that I'd see the places that I've seen. My mother is going overseas on Friday, and she got me hooked on it. She got her passport, and her friend invited her, and all her friend wanted was come with a good attitude. So if you're getting invited to a vacation,
Rudy, good to see you, Rudy.
Rudy, good to see you. So again, if you're coming to, someone's inviting you, be polite and say, hey, let me get back with you. And getting back with you means let me get back with you by the end of the week or by tomorrow, so that they can finalize their vacation, because they're inviting you, Chris, and they're giving you an opportunity to get on this awesome train to go see the world.
And you're the first guy I'm going to call after they invite me.
Exactly. And you call me and you say, hey, I'm getting invited.
Hey, can you remind everybody how much you're going to charge me?
$0.
How much are you going to charge them?
$0. Why? I talk to people every time we go to trainings, and they say, hey, why aren't you charging? Why aren't you doing this? Eventually, maybe I'll get a YouTube channel. But first and foremost, we're talking passports, right? And someone's already scared, and someone's saying, well, how much is it going to cost me? And then, wait a minute, I don't even know where to stay. I don't even know how to use public transportation. So-and-so said that it's really expensive to use taxis. And that's where I come in. and I coach you, and I tell you, no, you buy yourself a $45 unlimited public transportation card. You can use the subways, the metros, the undergrounds, whatever it is they're running in that city, and it's unlimited. You can ride the double-decker buses in London for free. Well, not for free, but $45 for 7 days, unlimited. And these are things that I coach you on. Now, you might come to me and tell me, I do want to travel overseas, but I don't trust myself, to learn maps or to learn how to use a public transportation. Well, then we'll send you on Globus or Cosmos. They have tour companies where they have a bus driver, they have the tour director. They're with you throughout the whole vacation.
So you wake up in the morning, you already know what time you need to get on the bus. You get on the bus and you just relax because they're going to take you the rest of the way.
But even better, you wake up, you have breakfast for free. And while you're having breakfast...
Well, how do I find a place that'll give me breakfast for free, Alex?
Well, it's all there.
I think you'll do that. I think you're going to do that.
And I'm going to do that too. If you're going to do it on your own, I'm going to help you find that. If we're going with Globus or Cosmos, they're going to include breakfast. More than likely, it's going to be included. And while you're in breakfast, you can grab yourself an extra Danish.
Dave, Mike, good to see you. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We got. Let me do a recap real fast because we got a bunch of people that just tuned in. Hey guys, we're going to talk about the crazy stuff going on of the day. We're going to get to that, okay? But first, we got our special guest, Alex Cantu from Crazy Travels. He's just explaining to us what he will do for you and me whenever we want to travel. All we got to do is give him a call.
Exactly. Thank you again, Chris. Guys, Crazy Cantu from Crazy Travels. Oh, my God, Crazy. Why do I want you to go on a vacation? Why am I, saying, okay, you can't do this on your own? No biggie. Let's get you on Globus. Let's get you on, Cosmos. They have a tour director. They have a bus driver that drives you around. You don't have to worry about these things. I want you to see the world. I want you to experience these things that other people have told you that you can. How do you get there if, food's going to be very expensive. You're already eating out. Chances are tonight you call DoorDash and you pay the tip, you pay the delivery fee, and all of these fees.
Or you go buy a dozen eggs.
Yeah, or you can come to me and I can coach you on, hey, look, there is a little deli right in front of your hotel. Walk over to it. It's going to be a whole lot cheaper than if you go to the Coliseum. Guess what? Everything around the Coliseum is going to be slightly higher. Why? Because they got to pay either rent, they got to pay overhead, and it's touristic, so they can up their prices. There's plenty of places. Maybe on the way back from, coming back from your bus stop or your subway or London Underground, there's a mini mart. Well, you swing by the mini mart, pick up some waters, pick up some sodas, some chips, some snacks that you can put on your backpack and snack on that, and that'll help you save money. Our goal is to, coach you on budgeting before your vacation so you can save for your vacation, budget while you're on your vacation so that you don't overspend. And then as soon as you get back, we want you to budget some more so that you can go back on another vacation.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. That's a lot of information there. Everybody who's listening live, watching live, maybe rewind that or whatever. He's given us a bunch of things that we can do. And basically the first step is giving him a phone call. If you want to give out your contact info or all that, please.
If you're on Facebook, KRAZZY Travels, get on there and hit follow and just look at all that information. Message me there. I'll respond to you. Guys, we're on a show where we're going to talk Bitcoin. We're going to talk current events, and we're trying to cramp all of. I can talk about travel because I love travel. But again, if you want a certain vacation, hit me up on Crazy Travels on the page, and that way we can talk and we can slow down, pump the brakes, and we can say, okay, how much money do we have? How much leave do we have? And then maybe you haven't even selected your leave, and I can coach you on how to go about selecting your leave, where to go and look for a vacation. And because right now we haven't selected a leave, but we know that we want to go in the summer, then we can choose mid-June or mid-July.
Now, would the destination have anything to do with the time? Do you know if it's better in Italy in June or July or August?
So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, we're going to try to find you got your little peak seasons, right? And we can look at that and say, okay, look, we can go in the summer. I know it's a little pricey, but let's find the week that is the least expensive. Or maybe you're set on, hey, there's going to be an event on this week, and I really want to see, maybe it's a musical, maybe it's a concert, and you really want to go to that
non-negotiable.
concert.
You got to be there at that time.
And so now we look for, okay, we don't have to stay downtown. We can stay on the outskirts. And so now we look for little different things. Maybe we drive to Austin. Flights from Austin are a whole lot cheaper. Maybe we drive to Houston. Houston flights are a whole lot cheaper. There is a plethora.
A plethora, el guapo.
El guapo. There is a lot of really cool options out there that the naysayers are telling you that they're not out there, but they are. And you're probably thinking, but I still have to drive to Austin and I still have to get a hotel. Well, we'll get you a Priceline Express deal, $50, $70 for a 3.5 star. You're just going to spend the night and then you're going to wake up, drive to the airport and fly out.
Nice.
You know, and then chances are you're flying back, get back on your car and then just do the 4-6 hour drive. It's not, where there is a will, there is a way. And
you're the navigator.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I do this for free again because I want you to go on a vacation. I'm rambling about travel because it's in my heart. I love it. I get motivated. We're going on a cruise and I'm trying to lose weight so that I can regain it while I'm eating there, while I'm hitting the buffet, and I'm trying my best to, okay, what am I going to do differently this time around? I've been to that destination, but now I want to do this. And then I'm thinking, okay.
Manny, good to see you, brother. Arnold.
Thank you, Arnold.
Sue says crazytravels.com. Do you have a website?
No, I don't have a website. It's just,
I think I know somebody that can help you with that.
Yeah, maybe we should open a website.
All right.
Again, look, I have this little crazy travel page on Facebook. I got a job where, it's very difficult, or maybe I'm too scared to branch out. And 2 more years and I am retired, and then I am free and I can do and say whatever I want to. And so that's why it's a small little page. It's Crazy Travels. I offer a lot of things on Facebook. Eventually, maybe I should look at Instagram. Maybe I should open a TikTok. I've never opened one, but I do these little things. But if you know someone, you can get a hold of Chris. Chris will give you my phone number, and then we'll start talking and we'll help you out. And again, it's not that I don't, I'm a small little guy that's just trying to, kind of sort of navigate.
But you've done. I think he's being a little bit too humble, ladies and gents. This man has been around the world. So what he does is he's placing the passion that he has to travel into an itinerary for you. So basically, if you haven't traveled, like me, I really haven't traveled, I can rest easy knowing that Alex is having gone to most of the places that I would want to go, right? And even if he hasn't gone to where you want to go, he'll know the different travel agencies and the hotels and all that, that good stuff. But he's done this so many times before that he's worked out the kinks in a way that he can preempt the major snafus that might set upon you in your travels because they've already happened to him. Am I correct there? Am I right?
Yes, and I think that my passion or the thing that really makes me happy is when I help someone go on a vacation. I've helped a lot of people go on vacations. I've done group vacations. I've gone to trainings where I bought 30 tickets for $22 to sit in the lower bowl at a Houston Rocket game. And those tickets are in the $80, $100 range. I was able to get 32 tickets when I was,
Wow.
I was, I spoke to, Bobby from Pure Supply. I said, Bobby, I want to make the invite, but I'm a little intimidated. I don't know if I can get 32 tickets, and we can all sit together. And I did it. I got his tickets, 17. I got about maybe 11. They were all in the same section. Some of them were in row 10, some of them in 12, some of them in 13. But for the most part, 32 of us were sitting in section 120 or 119. I forgot the section. But I think the highest ticket was $22. There was $18 tickets, $20 tickets.
Wow. So you have a talent for this kind of stuff, obviously.
And I have a passion. And all it is, and this is something that you can do too, is you just get online and start looking at and start, hey, what are people saying about this site? What are people saying about this, price line? What are they saying about this hotel? Because a lot of people are, there's a lot of negative reviews that you got to swift
Tony,
through.
good to see you up.
You have to swift through these. I love any hotel that has a 7+, and there's going to be negative reviews. There's going to be neutral reviews and positive reviews. Some positive reviews are just like someone just put a 10 and left it alone. And then some negative reviews is someone complaining about the vending machine not having snacks.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You can stop at a Dollar Tree. You can stop at a Walgreens.
If that's the worst thing about the hotel.
Yeah. And then enjoy your hotel, pick up snacks, and that's it, And then you have your neutral where you get a little more information where, hey, you know what? We noticed that they didn't have towels, and we had to go downstairs and ask for towels. And you make a sound decision. Well, I can go downstairs and get towels. I don't have a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it may be that, hey, if they don't have towels, then that's going to lead me to believe that if you're not comfortable because, well, maybe they didn't clean this place right, but maybe they just forgot to put the towels. I don't know. Everybody has an off day. Nobody is perfect.
Sure.
And so you swift through these, and that's what you do. And that's what I like to do is I go through every site that I use, and I'm looking for deals, and then I'm looking for reviews, and then I'm seeing, okay, is it too good to be true?
So you do a lot of legwork. It seems to me like you're not just brushing over the obvious points. You're going into the weeds. You're getting in the details to help somebody out. Because if I would imagine that, let's say you're giving me an itinerary, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what me and my wife want to do, want to see, how much we want to spend, all that. So we'll have an interactive conversation where you're going to know things to ask of me because you've traveled before, and you're going to be able to say, hey, what's your wife like when she travels? What does she want to see? What is she,
Can she walk? Is she willing to walk?
Exactly.
Is she not,
See, these are things I didn't even think of.
So
and you're going to, pose
every
those questions.
itinerary that I do for free. And I tell everyone that I work with, that I'm working on an itinerary with, is talk to me. Because like you said, well, if I do an itinerary, right, first thing I'm going to do, and you can do this, and you can log on to your computer right now and go to TripAdvisor, put the destination, put the places, what are things that, you want to do, just things to do, and then you're going to get a list of things that, a long list, and some of these things like hiking, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do hiking. What's next? Opera. Oh, I like opera. Let me write that down. And likewise, get online, 10 things to do, 10 good things to do. And these are things that you start jotting down, right? You can do that on your own. And then you can tell me, hey, Crazy, what do you think about these things? And then I'm also going to tell you, look at the websites of these places. For example, if you want to go to a museum, right?
Sure.
And you think, you know what, I want to go on Wednesday because on Monday I'm going to go to a baseball game. So Wednesday I want to go to a museum. It sounds cool. Yeah, why not go to a museum on Wednesday? But what if they're closed?
Yeah.
And we don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't live in Chicago. I don't live in London. So what do? We check their hours of operation. What time do they open? What time do they close? What time do I have to get there? Can I do can I load up my itinerary? Can I go from the Spanish Steps to the Colosseum to, the Louvre to, and I'm throwing a bunch of stuff out there, right? But can I stack my little itinerary so that Monday I can knock out a bunch of stuff?
Right.
And I can knock all this stuff before they close on me. And what do I have to do first before they close? And what can I leave to last where that maybe stays open? Maybe it's a park, maybe it's Central Park that doesn't really close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What can I leave to the end?
I wouldn't want to be there at night, though.
No, of course not. But I'm
New York after all.
I'm talking about maybe 6 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock or what have you. In all honesty, if you're out sightseeing, be it New York City, be it London, whatever you do, whether it's here in the States, whether it's here in McAllen, go out there with. If you're someone of faith like I am, I believe in God, and I tell God, look, we're going on a vacation. We've already saved all this money, and I want to have a good time. Take care of me. Let me not trip and stumble on a crack.
Sure.
Let me not break an ankle. Let me not get mugged. And be responsible. Put your stuff in front of you. Yes, there are pickpocketers. Put your stuff in front of you. Just because they're pickpocketers doesn't mean that you can't travel. It just means that you need to be careful. You need to be vigilant. You need to take care of your things. You need to take care of your wife, your kids. Last time I was here, I talked about getting excited about getting on a subway, on a train. You start making your way down to the platform and you hear the train and, oh my God, that's our train. And you're running towards that subway, towards that underground, the metro. And your wife, who is not a marathon runner like you, she's behind you. And all of a sudden you get on and she doesn't get on.
No bueno.
But hey, okay, cool. You've already talked about this with your family. Hey, I'm gonna get off on the next stop. You get on, and then as soon we'll meet up. And so you always have a plan of action for these things. You can still go to these places because everybody visits. People are at the Eiffel Tower to see it blink at night. It blinks beautiful. If you've never seen that, there is a night every single vacation that I go on, and it's mostly at a dinner table where I break down and I cry. I cry because I cannot believe that I'm able to do these things, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I've been to Italy, that I've been to the Vatican, that I've been all over Spain, that I saw the Tennessee Titans. I saw them in London, Wembley, Queen. I've seen, oh my goodness, man. I've done those things.
I can see by your passion, man.
I'm just a Hispanic kid from Laredo. I'm not supposed to travel. I'm not supposed to leave the city limits. And that's what they're telling you, with all due respect. You can't go. They're going to attack you. They're going to mug you. We don't know what's going to happen. Be vigilant. Be careful. Travel in groups. Stay on top of your family. On the subway, sit down, have your family with you, and enjoy, relax. There might be a lunatic out there because there's a lot of lunatics that, unfortunately, whatever it is that they're going to, but you're on your seat, you're okay. I've never had a problem. I've seen some sketchy people. You leave them alone. My thing is, I'm having a good time.
Sure,
I'm taking friends to New York. We've gone to Coney Island. We've gone to the Bronx. We've gone to Queens, to Harlem, Hoboken. When we went to Coney Island, I didn't run into a single warrior. Have you seen the Warriors?
Warriors, come out and play!
I didn't run into a single warrior.
We did not rehearse that, by the way.
And I was, in all honesty, I was hoping I'd run into them and maybe they can let me in. But no, seriously, if you're gonna be vigilant, be on top of your stuff, take care, your belongings, your cell phone, your medications, your passport, leave it in your safe in the room.
Okay.
leave it there. You don't need it. But and I don't care. I have a messenger bag. I got a European bag, and in there I have a water bottle. I have apples. I have my cell phone and my money. So I had to open it, and then I had to open the zipper, and then I had to open this zipper
to
get to my credit card and to get to my money. And I'm not carrying all of my money.
Sure.
I'm carrying maybe 60 euros. That's what do you call it? Petty cash?
Yeah.
Petty cash for
pocket money. Yeah.
Yeah, pocket change for a souvenir, for maybe a soda, for maybe some chips, and then my credit card for a big purchase, maybe something that's going to cost me $50, $60, and then I have another credit card or a debit card in the room with my passport, so that in case something crazy happens where I accidentally drop it, maybe I leave it behind, I can log on to my app and lock that credit card.
Sue has my sister Sue, this is. She has a comment. She says, "You are who you make yourself. Thanks for being one of the good guys."
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, because that's the biggest compliment that I can get, is that someone sees that I'm actually trying to do good, that I'm not trying to.
Barry, thanks for being with us.
I'm not selling you anything, you know. All I'm doing is telling you, hey, look, I've done these things have worked for you. And again, while we're here, you can comment what you've done, what's worked for you, so that we can take advantage of that. Because maybe if you've used a website that I've never heard of, that we can take advantage of, that he can take advantage of. My goal is I don't care if you are a way better travel advisor than me. I just care that you help someone go on a vacation. You know, that you encourage someone to go on a vacation, that you say, hey, Chris, on this, because I'm telling him, hey, Lo, I've been to the ball drop to Times Square at night. I've come back on I did the ball drop, and we were taking the underground back to Queens at 1 a.m. and
no mugging.
And then I get there, and we're starving, mind you, from 1 in the afternoon to 1, no restroom breaks, no food, no water. And we see the ball drop, and okay, now let's go back to our room. And I'm starving, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what are we going to eat?
Oh, there's street food, right?
Yeah. And so we're going back and we get to our stop, which is like 3 blocks away from our hotel, and there's a food truck.
Nice.
Oh, Lord.
A New York food truck.
And it was awesome. And mind you, it was Mexican tacos and tortas, and by far the best. Auténtico. And these things are out there. And and again, I might have to discourage you from visiting someplace. For example, you might come and tell me, hey, what if I want to visit a border town in Mexico? Well, I'm probably going to tell you, hey, listen, I don't know if you've heard, but this is going on. Yeah,
you might want to pump the brakes on one of those.
And likewise, if maybe you're thinking of going to, the Holy Land and, Israel, and there's
with that whole thing going on over there.
And so we really don't know, and so it's kind of like
a hot zone.
A hot zone. Let me not send you there right now. Let's wait till they give us good info. But go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to do the break like Joe Martinez, the owner of the station, has taught me. Okay. And it gets, I got a thick head, so sometimes I don't remember, but we're a little bit past the halfway mark here. And I want to remind everybody that we're coming to you on 97.7 KCYP, the city, out of McAllen, Texas. Also, we're in the McAllen Creative Incubator. There's artsy, there's fartsy. I'm the fartsy. Artsy goes on out there. Sculptors, painters, photographers, videographers like Joe, all kinds of cool stuff going on here. But my guest tonight, okay, is Alex Cantu from Crazy Travels. He has been telling us, and please, if you're just tuning in, see the first part of the show, because he just went over all these things that he's willing to do for you for the crazy price of
$0.
$0, everybody. Get in contact with me or get onto his Facebook. Okay, Crazy Travels. You'll see it. I put the link in our show promo. But we're going to go on to some things, and we're going to talk. And I would really like your opinion on some of these things. Okay.
So let me take off my travel advisor cap.
Okay.
And Chris and I, we're two adults, and we're going to talk current events. So you may or may not agree with us. We may or may not agree, but we're just going to have a conversation.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. I appreciate that because that's exactly what we do here. Thank you. So we're going to start out with a verse. Okay. Everybody knows, well, hopefully by now, the Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association is a nonprofit faith in God organization. So this one is especially good. And you've heard this one from earlier today. For I am the Lord, your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. God will help us, and he helps our country. He really helps our country, ladies and gentlemen. He is on the move. He really is. Now, today, and this is going to be from X, okay? Oh, by the way, Bitcoin was 84,200 today. We got a dip. If you're interested, now might
buy.
Yeah, thank you. Now might be a time to buy. Barry says Progresso still seems okay. Yeah, in fact, that's probably one of the few places you could probably go because it's just one little strip. You go in there and you come back out. Thanks, Barry. So this is from X. And let me just paint this picture, okay? You and I have talked about it already. Today, okay, is a day that many of us have been waiting for. The part of the Epstein files have been released. But the plot thickens. It is just a few text messages, on the top, a couple sentences, and then all black. And people are hot on the internet, Alex. People are angry. People are like, oh, it's the same old, same old, same old. But I have an explanation for that. And I'd like to tell you all why it is what it is. But first, let's get to FBI Director Kash Patel and what he said today on X. The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. And anyone from the prior or current Bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued and brought to justice. If there are gaps in the Epstein investigation, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them. And we will bring everything we find to the DOJ to be fully assessed and transparently disseminated to the American people as it should be. The oath we take is to the law and the Constitution. And under my leadership, that promise will be upheld without compromise. So, in your opinion, do you think that's consistent with what we saw today?
Let me start off by saying, look, I don't care what political party you belong to. I'm not going to convince you. There's nothing that I can say or do that's going to convince you. Although I am conservative, I am a libertarian. So for those of you that don't know what a libertarian is you're not going to convince me that Mitt Romney is going to help us.
No.
But
no.
Mitt Romney is a Republican.
No, sir. No. Doesn't matter.
You're not going to convince me that Hillary Clinton is going to help us.
Never.
No, blasphemy. Hillary Clinton, blue state, the Democrat. No. One of the hardest things when you become a libertarian is that obviously you have to vote. You vote for a Democrat or a Republican, and then you have Bernie Sanders, who claims he's a independent.
How many mansions is that socialist own?
A plethora.
A plethora, guapo.
And so you have a so-called independent that we all know is a Democrat. And then the sole purpose of a politician, I apologize for saying this, but the sole purpose of a politician is to get elected or reelected.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their seat at the table. And so what's going on right now is that the few moderate Democrats who are here to help the people, they are kind of like an offense. And then you have the conservative Republicans that are kind of an offense. And then you have the right-wing Republicans that they're just waiting. They're waiting to see, are these guys going to mess up so that we can run back to Nancy and tell Nancy, hey, Nancy,
Right.
Where do you need us? And so what I'm getting at is that, we're hoping that what the Trump administration does is completely fix all of this. We're waiting for this list. Why are we waiting for it? Well, we're waiting for it because it's not fair for, someone who, he or she may have, I don't know, he had a drink or two with his friends, and then he drove home and his blinking light isn't working, and the cops pull him over and he goes to jail. And these guys aren't in jail. And they've done something worse than that.
Let me agree with you, first of all.
Yeah.
They've done a lot worse. I mean, crimes against humanity, literally, and children. Now, this is my explanation. I'm not going to bring Alex into my jackpot here. But I want you all, Sue says, what does it matter what party you represent if you are corrupt? Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Doesn't matter at all. I subscribe to neither party. So here's what I'm assessing after this. Guys, I'm not pretending to be an educated man, but I will tell you that I have studied this craziness for a long time. And this is what I believe is going on. And I hope it puts, all of you who are as passionate about this stuff as I am in a better place, mentally, strategically, and everything in between. So what I believe this to be is an on-script, very well orchestrated plan. Now, how do I mean that? What Donald Trump needs, what we need as a nation, is for all of us, Americans, Democrats, Republicans, independents, libertarians, socialists, whatever, to be on the same page. Now, that will never happen 100% because there's outliers and all that, right? Now,
national media.
Exactly. So what we need is to get as many of us together. And why do we need that? Because we need to change, fundamentally reform our nation. And this is part of it. Why is it part of it? Well, we need to see justice done for crimes committed, especially crimes against the most vulnerable of us, the children.
Yeah.
And that's what Epstein Island was all about. It was a blackmail factory so that they could get judges, politicians, CEOs, etc., actors, musicians, all that, politicians, right? They can get them in compromised positions with children, okay? And that would be their undoing, because then once the video was secured by the usual suspects, they now had leverage over these people. You're a judge. You think you're going to rule against the mafia if they have that blackmail video? No, you're not. Now, what is the plan, Otter? What is the plan? What are the good guys doing if they're allowing this blackness to come all over these documents that they promised us? I'll tell you what they're doing. They're raising attention, not just to people like us, not who I already know what the Epstein list looks like, not to people like us, but to those people who are on the fence or even in the other camp. They hate Trump. Orange man bad. Yeah. Right? So what does this mean? This means that they're going to show everyone, they're going to take them by the neck and twist their head to show them the people at the FBI, the people at the Southern District, SDNY, Southern District of New York, that are blocking this. Let me go through one. Okay. Go ahead with your comment and I'll read this.
No, I'm just like, look, in what is it, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? No one's done, no Republican, no Democrat has slashed wasteful spending and found
not
wasteful
like
spending.
this.
Not like this. And look, I got a soft spot for getting fired or for people that are getting fired, but you have to understand that, and you have to be careful what news network you're getting your information from, because they're going to tell you, oh, this guy lost his job. Yeah, but that guy was working as a tadpole gender studies. And
tadpole gender studies.
And
but you're not even.
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, and again, look, I don't care where you lean. I care that these people who did horrible things, and that we don't continue to do these things because it teaches people a lesson that, hey, I don't want to, if they give that guy that punishment, I don't want to go that route.
Right.
And we also, I'm telling you, as a libertarian, sometimes you have to say, man, I voted for this guy and I think I made a mistake, or I really have faith on this guy. And Donald Trump and President Trump and Elon Musk, Democrats, these guys, Donald Trump, one of the biggest donors to Democrats.
Both parties.
Elon Musk had he had that $100 billion, or how much was it? To deal with the government,
he's a contractor.
A contract.
He's the biggest contractor in the world.
How do you how can you not consider President Trump fair when he canceled his contract? And so there's no buddy system here. It's just, hey, we're trying to make sure that the American money, the American taxpayer money, gets spent wisely.
Alex, the reason why they accuse Donald Trump and Elon Musk of corruption is because they're projecting their corruption upon him. Okay, let me read this here. This is something interesting that maybe some of you don't know. This is on X. Insurrection Barbie, great person to profile to follow on X. Maureen Comey, sound familiar already? Maureen Comey, an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, has been with the office since 2015. She is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. Is it starting to come together for you? Is it starting to, connect, to click? What a shocker that she was put into Southern District, New York, right before Trump came into office. She has been involved in the Epstein case, the Maxwell trial, Hayden prosecution, Natalie Edwards case. She participated in the case against Natalie Mayflower Sowers Edwards, a former Treasury Department official who pleaded guilty in 2020 to leaking confidential documents related to the Russia investigate. Russia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying all this to tell you, these are the people that are blocking the release, the transparency of the Epstein documents. Okay? The focus. Bob, good to see you. We're talking about where the focus is on this crazy. Marcos, good to see you. We're talking about these heavily redacted documents that came out today. Okay? On the Epstein thing. They're utterly, you might as well have had this portion of the screen on there. It's black. There's nothing there. Why? This, again, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that Trump is, he's turning on us, or you don't think, please, that Elon Musk can't get to the bottom of it, or that Kash Patel at the FBI is behind this. No, this is all a plan. It's a ploy. It's a plan. Because people are getting agitated. And when they get agitated, attention, again, is focused. Where are we going to focus it? We're going to focus it on the criminals, on the corruption. That is the former FBI, the deep state FBI that is still there. Just because they have a new director and a deputy director, Dan Bongino, okay, just because we think these people are honest and transparent doesn't mean that the old guard is still not firmly in place there. Now, they're not dumb enough. Say what you will about the deep state, the Khazarian mafia, the Illuminati, what do you want to call them? International criminal cartel. What they do is what they've always done.
Yep.
Rob and kill. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. They know that if they're going to hide something in the FBI, they're going to do something in a district that they can completely control, which is the Southern District of New York. All right? So they have this daughter of Comey there, right? She's there. She's blocking everything. She does whatever she wants because that's the old guard. Now, what happens when the American people are brought to such a fervor for justice that they're willing to look, be they Democrat, Independent, or Republican, they're willing to look closer at the FBI and Southern District of New York? What happens then, ladies and gentlemen? The outcry of the American people is going to uncover this in the end. That's what's going to happen. Don't think that anybody's turning on us. Don't think that, we're abandoned. Woe is us. No, ladies and gentlemen, no. This is all happening to plan. If you want to know more about this, you want some resources like Otter, I'd love to believe you, man. I would really enjoy, my time in this Trump administration much more. If you could please explain this to me, I will do that. I will give you resources, videos, tips, all that good stuff. You can find, all this stuff just by emailing me at bitcoinotter@secure.com, SEKUR.com. bitcoinotter@secure.com. I will send you what you ask for. I've been looking at this stuff for a long time. And as you can see, I'm passionate about it. I'm on a roll here. Okay. I want you to know the truth. I want to know the truth, but we have to be patient. We have to remember that this is a process, and we don't need a little bit of America. We don't need part of America. We don't need half of America. We need all of America to stick together, get behind this administration, and demand transparency from these corrupt organizations. And we're talking about FBI. We're talking about all the others. IRS, Federal Reserve. We're going to get into that.
If I may add one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Consider the source. Well, Fox News told me. Well, CNN told me.
Por favor.
Yep. Guys, it used to be I remember I stopped watching the local news. I stopped watching national news a long time ago. And I just started really looking. It used to be that you could go to the Drudge Report, and Drudge had the left, the middle, and the right.
What happened?
It got taken over by the deep state, I guess.
Thank you very much.
But go out there and look. And by the way, you're seeing, they're doing away with this and they're doing away with that. What they're doing is they're zeroing it out. And they're trying to figure out what they can keep and what they need to get rid of. And then they'll start all over again with programs that are going to help the American people. Whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, a independent, whatever it is, Green Party.
America first.
There will always be financial aid. There will always be housing. There will always be food stamps. There will always be, but what we're trying to get rid of giving $8,000 to some girl who drives a Suburban, who works because she is a contract worker or what have you.
Yeah.
Or she knows the loops. And so that's what we're trying to get rid of. But the national media is not telling you that. The national media is telling you that President Trump is evil. And I don't know. All I've seen is, hey, we're finally, hopefully we can pay off our debt. I am a budget guy. You've heard me talk about budget. I am someone who, my wife and I, we paid off our debt. We did our debt snowball. So why is it that I can be responsible, but the government can't be responsible with our money?
You mean you don't want to pay for my college?
Are you you're not my son. And I don't even know what's your major.
Well, basket weaving.
Arts?
Basket weaving.
And then what you're going to do?
Soil sampling.
And what are you going to do with that? Where are you going to go? My goodness, if you're a parent, you have to have a conversation with your child. Back then, they would come to middle school, to elementary, and they say, "Hey, you like SeaWorld?" Yeah. Well, don't become a marine biologist at SeaWorld, because there is 200 people lining up to apply to SeaWorld. Guys, find out what's out there.
Yeah.
Find out what you're talented at. Maybe you're a really good musician and you're like, man, I don't know if I can afford to feed a family as a musician. Well, find yourself a good job, and maybe you have a band that plays in the evenings. Maybe you play quinceañeras, weddings on the weekends, but you're pursuing that, and then eventually you're like, no, I really need to take the summer. I'm writing songs, I'm doing this. So you kind of have to have something to fall back on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so you can't just go out there and say...
But that makes sense.
But who told you this? Well, CNN told me. A certain political... Fox News told me.
Yeah.
And, and who... By the way, and no offense to... There might be a few journalists out there, but we all know what's going on. You go to a university and they come out and they know nothing. I read a book from Dave Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover, 24 bucks or something, I don't remember. That's all I needed. That catapulted me. I use that book when I travel. I use it to have a vacation fund. I use it to have a tire fund, to have a maintenance fund on things around the house. My wife uses it. And all of this stuff I share it for free. And my goal is to help you. So if you think, well, but he's a Trump supporter, well, kind of, sort of, yeah, I voted for him. Yes, I want him to succeed. I want the good things, and the bad things I don't want.
Here, let me see if you're of the same mind here.
Go ahead.
Okay. See, when someone says, "Hey, are you a Trump supporter?" I say yes. I don't equivocate. I say yes. I am a Trump supporter. However, I am not a worshiper of Donald Trump. I worship Jesus Christ and Christ alone. I admire Donald Trump, but I'm not in a cult. If he does something that I disagree with, I'm not afraid to call it out. Now, granted, and there might be those saying right now, hey, man, didn't he just allow that stuff to be, redacted and all? There's a process here, ladies and gentlemen. What I like to do is think a little bit deeper than the immediate. Sue has a comment here. What's the what about shrinking the bureaucracy in our government? Well, the bureaucracy is what bleeds us. I can't remember what it is now, but I think a few years ago, we would have had to work till, I think, depending on how much you make, you would have had to work till like March or April before you'd actually be working for yourself, because the tax burden would be so high on some of us that your first few months of the year, when you look at the end of the year results, was paid in taxes.
Yep.
It's insane, ladies and gentlemen. It just, that can't happen. And why? Because it's being wasted.
Look, if you have a mortgage, most of you probably have an escrow account, right? I've never had an escrow account because my father, he would pay the taxes at the end of the year.
Okay.
And so I would do that. And so when we paid off the house, I still do that at the end of the year. So every month I have to save money and put money aside to pay the taxes. If you, the American worker, didn't have a tax deduction, and you had to write a check, you would be fuming. But you're not fuming because you don't feel it.
You got a great point, though. I didn't think of that, Alex.
So you're not feeling
in
it.
That way.
And so, well, what's the what? Well, what's the what? Because you get a paycheck and you think that that's your actual paycheck. But your actual paycheck was bigger, and it got a lot of that money got taken away to go to a foreign country.
Barry says, I'm not a fan of the golden ticket. Do you know what I mean? Barry, could you what's the golden ticket?
And I try to live a life where I don't put stress on myself.
Sure.
And so what's a golden ticket? So Trump is saying, hey, listen, if you have money and you can start up a business and you can start a productive business and you can hire, I don't know how many thousand employees, you pay, I don't know how many million for a golden ticket, 500 million or whatever, and that money goes towards paying off the debt.
Okay.
And that person who's coming in obviously knows how to manage money and he knows how to run a business. And so that person is going to hire, we'll pretend that it's an Italian restaurant and he's going to open a chain of Italian restaurants from Italy.
Which is going to employ a certain amount of people.
Yeah. And so he's going to employ Americans, and the money that he paid to come in to America is going to go towards paying off the debt. That's the little that I know, right?
Right.
That's the golden ticket.
Okay.
And again, I'm talking, he's talking, and you can go and you can search this stuff. And again, consider the source. You don't go to CNN, you don't go to Fox News. Go out there and look and read the articles, and then read another article. And then you can go back to Bitcoin and say, hey, have you continued reading about it? I find Chris credible, And,
thank you.
And I'm not a bandwagoner or whatever, but, he sounds credible and it makes sense. And a lot of the things, they call us conspiracy theorists, and they all come true.
They seem to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I will never tell you a lie that I don't believe. Okay. What I mean by that is, if I say something that's wrong or doesn't come true, I'm going to be the first one to admit it. I'm definitely not afraid to say I was wrong. But when I say things like I did earlier about, what the real reason is to allow those documents to be sent out redacted. I truly believe that, and maybe I'll be proved wrong, but I think that's what in the end we're going to see. Barry says China buying up our meat processing plants, farmland, etc. Yes, you're right. Not only are they buying it, they've bought a lot of it. Yep. But here's what we have to remember: we're still only in the beginning of the second month, Barry. We're only in the beginning of the second month. Okay, we have a lot more to go, and we have front seats. I really would like to go more on this, Brian. Good to see you, Brian. I would like to go more on this, but we got an hour slot. Man, did this go faster? What, yeah, Alex?
It sure did.
Wow, man. This is awesome. We're going to have you back, brother. I really enjoy you coming. I really enjoy you helping us out with, travel stuff. If you're just arriving, please, I won't use the term rewind. That'll just make me old. So what I'm going to say is start from the beginning of this video, please, and you'll get the great
Crazy Travels
offer of Crazy Travels.
You'll get the Bitcoin and you'll get the current events. But most importantly, you're going to get something that's even better than that. There is something that he said, be not afraid. Be not afraid. The Lord is here. He's here for us. If you're an atheist, and you're scared, now's the time to drop your guard and say, hey, let me just talk to God. Because when I was a kid, I used to, before I would go to sleep, every single day I would pray to God. I would say my Our Fathers, my Hail Marys. And then one time I was at Grandma's, and Grandma told me, you don't have to pray, you can talk to God. And then I started talking to God. And I remember when I was unemployed, and I think there was a second time that I was unemployed, and I was down and out, and I couldn't sleep, and insomnia and nervous breakdowns, and I would go to church at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and I would drive out there, and I would sit there and talk to God. And I got so tired. One day I got mad, and I said, God, if you think I'm going to give up on you, you're wrong. I'm not going to give up on you. I know you have a plan for me. I know that you have a plan for me. I don't know what it is, but I know you have a plan. And now I'm here talking about budget travel, talking about getting you on a vacation, talking about helping you pay off your debt. If you have diabetes, I can help you reverse your diabetes. I went from a 13.5 to a 5.4 A1C in 3.5 months.
Wow.
And I've helped a lot of people, and that's my goal. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I threw in my 2 cents on what I think of what's going on. But most importantly, I want you, the Lord Jesus Christ, He is King.
Amen, brother.
President Trump is our president.
He's just a man.
Man, the amount of things that I get to do because I believe in God. I work where I work because I believe in God. My wife and I, we are financially blessed because we believe in the Lord Jesus Christ.
And there are some that believe but are not financially blessed, but they're still blessed.
Yeah, and the definition of wealth is going to vary from person to person.
Right.
If I have $100 in my bank account, I'm on top of the world. You know what I mean? And so it may be that right now you're going through a little hiccup because I've already been there. I've been down and out, but you have to work on yourself and you have to want to come up. Because if you're saying, man, I don't have any money, and you're holding that Starbucks latte, well, that's where your money's going.
You need to look at it, right? Closely. Where your money's going.
I'm telling you, the definition of wealth, because someone's going to inventory they're going to inventory my wife's and I's belongings, and they're going to say, well, where's the iPads, and where's the iMacs, and where's the 75,000-inch TV? And I don't need them. I'm perfectly comfortable with that TV.
You know what? You're making a lot of sense, Alex, and I appreciate you. We got a question here. Actually, a comment by Brian. Bitcoin crashing like crazy. U.S. inflation getting high, giving the U.S. dollar strength due to Fed keeping interest rates high since inflation is up there. Thank you. Again, Brian, if you want to rewind, we have an hour show. We're over a little bit, but I just want to say that I didn't touch on Bitcoin much, but I don't know how much you've looked into Bitcoin or how long you've been in Bitcoin, but based on the cycles, the charts, the history, we're right on schedule. If you look at the squiggly lines and you see where they went this is the fourth of so far 4 cycles, 4-year cycles, we are on it.
It's a roller coaster, right?
And I think that we're going to be where we need to be in a matter of weeks.
So stock market, and I imagine Bitcoin too, it's a roller coaster ride. So you're going to have your ups where you sell if you're someone who's a day trader or someone who can sell and buy. And then you're going to have your downs where you're going to buy your bull market.
Wow.
And so, it's a roller coaster ride. And if you're someone like me, leave your money alone and let it climb and let it come down. And then
you only lose if you sell it.
Yeah, exactly. And so you have, we'll call them shares in a table. You buy them for $100, right? And then, hey, nobody's buying chairs and tables. Okay, and then next thing you know, you got someone come over and say, I'll give you $200. Give me the $200.
Yeah. I
paid $100. And so it's a silly.
You got to be patient, though.
Yeah.
You got to, if you got the chairs and tables, you got to be patient. So Brian says, yeah, Bitcoin is retracing. I'm a Forex trader, Chris. Dude knows. So if he's a Forex trader, he knows exactly what he's doing. And it sounds to me like you're very capable at figuring out what this Bitcoin thing is. So what I'm gathering is, okay, and I'm not, this is my second cycle, but the first one with the knowledge of, hey, we're in a cycle. So when you look at these charts, and you're going to have to take my word for it, I'll show you later, right? But when you look at these charts, you're going to see the same pattern, although going forward, we see higher lows, okay, and higher highs. The whole way since it started at 0, we see higher lows and then higher highs the whole way, okay? Yeah. And this is what, and I just got to talk people down sometimes, Brian, and I'm sure you have to do it too. We got to keep people conscious of the fact that, first of all, you never put the rent money in Bitcoin. No, and no, okay? You got to pay the rent. You can't be expecting it to pop in a year or so. You just hang on, right? So the second thing is have patience. Have patience. Now we're over. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And I want to let you know, from my buddy Alex here to me, we love you. We're here to help you. Contact us if you want to learn a little bit about what we know, or maybe even just teach us something new.
Exactly. So you might know something about Bitcoin that we don't know, or you might know something about travel that we don't know. We're all ears, man. I know that Chris and I are here to make sure that you guys, that we all succeed.
Amen,
we are
brother.
a team.
We're a team.
Be not afraid.
Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love you, and God bless you and yours.
The City 97.7.
This is the Bitcoin Otter